Well, welcome. We're in day 2 of John chapter 19 and taking some time to look at what the scene of the glorification of Jesus in his crucifixion.
And really specifically looking at what do we learn about Christ in the passages this week. And today just being struck by how he willingly lays down his life. We were just talking about this and the very last verse and on day
1.
Well, that's day 1. Okay.
Well, it leads into day 2.
It does. So he delivered him over to them to be crucified. Pilate delivered Jesus over to them to be crucified, and that just doesn't happen, Ashrita, that a man delivers God over.
Right.
Jesus had to willingly submit to this. So I loved what you were sharing about a previous example.
Yeah, so I was listening to another passage. I don't have the reference with me, but it's where Jesus is in the synagogue and he says, in his own village, a prophet is not received. And part of it is messianic and the claims Jesus is making. And so the crowd drives Jesus to the edge of a cliff. They want to push him over the cliff. They're going to be done with this prophet. And the passage just so humorously says that Jesus slipped through the crowd and that was it. And the contrast between that passage and this one, where Jesus knew his hour had not come, and so as much as that mob wanted to kill him, they couldn't. And yet here, he willingly, and it's a moment by moment willingness to lay down his life. Like we were just talking, if one of us wanted to do something like that, to lay down our lives for a loved one, it's possible that we would have that spur of the moment emotion that drives us to this altruistic act and then have second thoughts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or have doubt about it or want to pull out of it and say, wait, I'm not so sure about this. And yet for Jesus, it was every moment, every breath was yes to this.
Absolutely.
Every step to the cross. Verse 17, he went out bearing his own cross. Oh, it just struck me because it wasn't his cross, it was my sin. It was our sin that he was bearing.
Right.
And yet every step to the skull was a step of love.
It makes me think back to the verse that says he loved them to the end. Yeah.